everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. If this is your first time here, what I do is I take books I've read and I compare them to their on-screen adaptation. Usually it's a movie, but sometimes it's a TV show as well. If you have been on my channel before, I apologize that I have been very MIA lately. Big news, I had a baby. There he is. He's about 2 months old now, a little more. I know I haven't made a video in like 4 months, so that doesn't explain it. Probably longer, actually. But I've also just been trying to focus more on reading books that I like rather than books that have adaptations, because for a while I was kind of in a rut where I wasn't enjoying the books, and therefore I wasn't enjoying reading. So I wanted to get back into finding my love of reading and just reading what I want. My resolution for this year, for 2020, was to read 52 books, and a lot of the books I was reading were taking me forever because I just didn't have the motivation other than making this video. So I'm on track with my resolution. Hopefully I'll finish on time. I'm actually like one book behind, so I gotta pick it up. Anyways, I'm talking a lot. I've also been focusing on writing though too. For those of you who don't know, I also write. I've got a book back there, this little blue thing right here. That's a book I wrote. And I'm working on writing a second book. So I've just been trying to split my time between reading books I like, writing a book, being a mom, working. Just like Corona insanity has given me no motivation. You would think that I'd have all the time in the world to read, but I just sat there on the couch instead. And so yeah, just trying to split my time between all that. And here I am. I finally, I saw that Netflix put out Dash and Lily's Book of Dares. So I think that's the full title. I'm just gonna call it Dash and Lily. I saw that they put it out and I said, hey, I remember that was a book, and it was actually a book I wanted to read. So I read it online. That's another thing. A lot of these books are hard to find online, and through my app. So anyways, but I found this book online. I read it. This was like 3 weeks ago that I finished the book and the show. It took me that long to sit down and make the video. The baby's napping right now, so hopefully he doesn't wake up and I can finish this. Also, I lost my headphones, but I got a new phone, so hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Okay, now that we're almost 3 minutes in, let's talk about Dash and Lily. I honestly didn't care for the book that much. Of course, I liked the show better. I mean, what can I say? There were a lot of changes, though. Sorry, I got distracted by clutter. Okay, so without further ado, let's go. So, in the TV show on Netflix, Dash, the character Dash, had to do a dramatic reading of River, the song that I've literally never heard of, but now I feel like I'm seeing it everywhere. But he had to do a dramatic reading of that in front of the store, and that did not happen in the book. And also like the decoded message that she put in the book at like his very first thing he read in it, that was different as well. I was like, this is like the basis of the story and you're already changing it. So I knew it was going to be very different. It kind of took me a while to do the book of the show. So there might be a lot of things I missed. Please let me know down below. Cause this is a kind of short list. Okay. Anyway. There was in the show, he had a conversation with his ex-girlfriend, Sophia. What? Yeah, it was Sophia. It was like in a flashback. Sorry, I forgot. And it was about the word bedding. And in the book, this happened in a department store, and it was just his train of thought while he was looking in the bedding section for one of her notes. And so I was just wondering if that means that there's not going to be that note under the pillow in the department store, and if he's even going to have to go to the department store. And, yeah. And of course there isn't. Okay. And then I was mad because we didn't get to see the Santa scene, but then it comes back and we do see it later. So I digress. In the TV show, he didn't make Lily see Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. They just kind of talked about the movie and like her thoughts on it. But that was his dare to her in the book. It's confusing saying the book because in the book and the show, there's a notebook they write in. Whatever. Okay. And then, so Boomer meets Lily way earlier on in the show at the restaurant he works at, whereas in the book it happens, he meets her when she's making the puppet, which also happens differently. And then I said we saw the Santa scene, but it was different. The clue was on his hat rather than like in his jacket. I guess they didn't want to make him like a perv. And then he asked her in the TV show, Dash asked Lily, what do you want for Christmas? Whereas in the book, she had asked him first. And then, so he said, what do you want for Christmas? And she said, I want to know more about you. I'm like, that's the lamest answer ever. I was so disappointed in that. Her worst Christmas memory had to do with friendship bracelets instead of her dead pet gerbil and the origin of the Shirley nickname. The friendship bracelets was so random, and I mean, it brought up that guy, what's his name? I already forgot. Tebow. And like her complicated relationship with him. It was different in the show. But I don't know, I liked the Shirley nickname and the origin. I thought that was funny in the book. The club scene. In the show, she got a drink spilled on her, and then she went to the bathroom and accidentally saw a message from Dash, and then she was going to leave, but the bouncer told her to go dance. That's not how it happened in the book. In the book, she was, there was no message on a mirror in the book, and she did dance, but she did it on her own. So I believe. Please let me know if I'm wrong. This was so long ago, and I've read like 3 books since reading this one. The reason she left the club was more understandable in the TV show because she saw her childhood like bully kind of, but in the book, like she just kind of saw them and she wasn't sure if they were the right people and she ran out. I was like, really, chick? So it made more sense in the show, but I was also confused on what it meant with her for her relationship with Edgar Tebow, because I just didn't see their little, like in the book they had a relationship. They kind of flirted. She wanted to kiss him. They kind of went on a date, and I didn't see how it would get there in the show, but then it did get there. So the boot's origin was different when Dash had to use the boot to kind of track her down. That was so different in the show. He like went to some costume shop. I was like, what is going on? Okay, and then, so in the show, how Dash got the notebook back, Lily just, like, brought it to Boomer at the restaurant he works at and said, deliver this, but that didn't happen in the book. I don't know, at this point, it gets kind of confusing because Dash doesn't get the notebook back until she's, like, drunk and he finds it on the ground. And that does happen in the show, but it happens later. So he gets it back, and there's some more interactions in the notebook. And she finally makes her Muppet. It's very different. Instead of being instructed to make it, she goes to he sends her to some creation class and then wants her to destroy it, and she doesn't destroy it. Like, she just chose to make a Muppet. So that was different. The show showed Dash having dinner with his dad and his dad's new girlfriend, wife, I don't know, and Sophia, which that did not happen in the book. So that was an interesting addition. And then, so in the book, she didn't actually go to that Christmas Eve party with Tebow. They were like going to go, and then they went somewhere else and did something else. But in the TV show, she actually goes to the party with Tebow and she talks to Dash, but they don't know they're talking to each other. They're just talking. They don't say their names. And then Sophia says she wants to be with Dash. That's not true in the book. And then they like spend the night together, but not together, not smooch, whatever. They did that in the book too, but not like she took him to some empty museum in the show, like, ooh, laying out all the stops that didn't happen in the book. I'm going to talk fast because this is a short list and I'm already at almost 10 minutes. Her aunt accidentally revealed the name Dash to Lily, because we know Dash went to see the aunt and was talking. So the aunt knew, great aunt Basil E. or whatever, knew Dash. And so she accidentally let it slip that his name was Dash to Lily. And that's how she found out. I was like, lame. And then in the show, she actually kissed Tebow. And Dash saw that, whereas in the book, she's like about to kiss him, and they hadn't yet. And also in the book, she was super apologetic in the cab, just saying, I'm sorry, over and over. Whereas in the show, she was kind of mad about it, and they weren't talking like at all. I'm like, and then in the book, she was able to keep it kind of a secret that she was drinking. Whereas in the show, he knew right away that she was drunk, and she like threw up in front of her family. And then, okay, so there was this whole thing in both the book and the show about how her family might be moving to Fiji. The book kind of leaves you hanging. You don't know if she's going to move or not. She's going to be okay either way. Great. In the show, they're like, we're moving to Fiji. I was like, what? So is this the end? But she stays behind, of course. She's going to live with Grandpa and Basil E. or something like that. She's staying behind, whatever, and gonna be with Dash in the show. Happy ending. Woo, love. Okay. There was no scene. I was so disappointed. There was no scene with Boris and the group of moms and their little cute special dates that they did for each other. There was a scene where Dash went and apologized to Booker at the ball drop Boomer at the ball drop at Times Square, and Nick Jonas was in it, like talking to them for some reason. That was so random. But yeah, so the end in the book, like they had just gotten together, and she didn't know if she was going to Fiji or not. They were like locked in this thing till 7 a.m. and like it ended while they were getting out, and it was just kind of open-ended. You didn't know what was going on. The show ended with like her, like I said, she's gonna stay, she's gonna live there. And then like, y'all, I hate not every, but a lot of young adult books, teen books these days. The couple gets together and right away, immediately, they're saying they love each other. And of course, in the end, he has to tell her that he loves her. And I was like, why can't you just start by liking her? Like, he went from like, not sure if I have feelings, I don't know, she's weird, I like her, I don't like her, I don't know, maybe it's better if we're not together, maybe it's better if we only talk in the notebook, maybe it's better if we do see each other. And then all of a sudden he loves her, and I was so over it. I was like, can we do some stepping stones, people? Every single book they go from like nothing to I'm in love with you too, and then they get together. That is not how it works. And I'm so sick of these teen books just throwing around the word love left and right. Okay, this book didn't do it, but the TV show did. And I was like, they really have me going. Because like I said, I liked the show better than the book. And then they had to add that. And I was just like, I'm over it. But overall, I think it was a pretty good Christmas show. It kind of put me in the spirit, I guess. I watched a couple Christmas movies after watching that show. Seeing New York in Christmas was nice, and all the Christmas lights and the caroling. But I don't think I would recommend it. Like, I wouldn't say, oh my God, I haven't told anyone, oh my gosh, you have to watch this show or anything like that. Oh my gosh, you have to read this book. They were both just kind of okay. The show was slightly more okay than the book. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if I missed anything, got anything wrong. Like I said, it was forever ago. If you have anything new in your life that you want to tell me about since my last video forever ago, shoot that down in the comments. I don't know when or what my next video will be, so subscribe and be surprised. Peace and love. Bye.